You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Centre, this is Phoenix FM.
This is 92.5 Phoenix FM, community radio for Dublin 15.
Hey everybody, it's JB Jeremy Borash, and you are listening to Darragh O'Connor on the...
Hello everybody, welcome to Phoenix 92.5 FM, the WrestlingRewind.com and nerdtoknowmedia.com, and of course True Penny channel over on James True Penny channel. Do go over, check out all those links because there's so many shows, a lot of them for free, and if you don't want them to be free, well, we have a Patreon as well, and we would appreciate those X-Pac euros. My name is Darragh O'Connor. Welcome to the Wrestling Rewind, the only wrestling podcast by wrestling fans who don't hate wrestling. I'm not alone, of course. I'm joined by the one, the only, the one and undefeated Mr. Martin Herdy.
How's things?
How are you, sir? How are you doing?
Do you know what? I feel reinvigorated with a new sense of purpose. Do you ever have something like hanging over you just for a
like the
long
sword of
time?
Damocles?
Yeah, exactly. And you feel like you can't move on with your life until it's done. Well, look, this punk thing has been hanging over me. We've made the challenge. I set up the date in the square in Crossmaglen. He didn't show up.
How dare you?
I know there was so many disappointed South Armanians, but I've broken through and I've gotten this hex off me back. So this week I had the absolute pleasure of downloading AEW Fight Forever.
Legally.
Legally. Oh, I swear to God,
He bought it.
AEW is one of the few corporations that I don't steal from.
We do not know nor endorse that.
Well, I mean,
Martin
I
does.
do.
Martin does. We don't.
So I made myself in the game, and I was scrupulously accurate. You know, give him a bit of a bald head. I give him a bit of a punchy tummy. I, give him a bit of a limp. Give him a, I was very accurate with how I made
It doesn't
myself.
sound like you're
in the
accurate. It
game.
doesn't sound like accurate at all. It sounds like you were trying to make Gollum. I met you in person. There was no limp. But anyway, continue.
You find me crawling around Slieve Gullion in South Armagh.
I think you're being too harsh on yourself. I think you're being too harsh on yourself here.
Do you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I just wanted to make sure. So maybe I didn't craft myself. Maybe I crafted like the Tesco value version.
I think so. I think this is way too harsh.
Right. So I crafted that in Fight Forever. And then I set up a match with Punk, and I battered the life out of him. And then I thought, no, that's only one. That's not a proper test. We need to do kind of a series of different litmus tests. I got him in a ladder match. I got him in an exploding barbed wire death match. I got him in a falls count anywhere. And Punker couldn't beat me once. And I have to say, I understand why he hasn't responded to any of our challenges.
And this wasn't even you. This was your Tesco value version of yourself.
This is the Tesco value. This is the Martin sandwich that's about to go out of date. So they throw it in the wee fridge up the front, and you can buy it for 99 cents. like this was exactly.
So imagine if you met the real Martin. He knows. He knows what's coming.
In fact, and now when I think about it, I actually think Punk's not being a coward, and he's not being mean. I think he's being kind, because he knows I'm a huge fan of his work, and he knows, like, even though he's a gob shizzle, due respect to the good people of Phoenix FM,
allegedly a gob shizzle,
allegedly a gob shizzle, he knows that I am a huge fan of him professionally.
Yes.
And he knows how much it would break my heart to kill him. So
there is a game. There is a game where you can do that, though.
Is this a UFC game?
Oh God. Well, no, it's Wrestling Empire, where wrestlers just die. There's a funeral, and then the match breaks out at the funeral. So I mean,
but I think now me and Punk, I think the feud's over. Yeah, okay. I think we've reached a new understanding. He knows I could kill him, but he also knows that I don't want to kill him. But I think now we can move on to different feuds. Okay. I can set. Who should I set in my sights for 2-0?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, but you just don't like him because he raps.
No, I don't like him because of his theme music. It doesn't have rap. It has ska.
Ska.
Worse. Yeah.
I like a wee bit of ska.
Yeah, but not that. I don't know.
It depends what mood you're in.
That's fair.
You have to be having a herbal cigarette to properly enjoy a bit of ska.
Anyway. Well, look, we'll think about it, and if a feud pops up, we'll just have to restart it and try to get to the 2-0.
I mean, obviously, don't be silly. Don't say like Brock Lesnar or something.
No, that's just a dead wish, because he'll fly out. Or New Jack. New Jack would probably drive himself up back from the grave.
New Jack would just walk into the ring and like shoot me.
But he's dead, so it's kind of hard for him to do that now.
Well, that's worse. Then he'll bite me, and then I'll be undead.
There you go. That's what I mean. He'd be a zombie. He'd be like, "Oh, there you go. I gotta go do it." Okay. Anyway, so
if you'd like to suggest who my next feud should be, throw us an X-Paciato.
Absolutely do. You can go over to our Patreon where there's different tiers, more added by the week, because we have an on-running joke.
Keep making
jokes. Yeah, that becomes things.
Drop us Martin's feud, €4.88.
A Virgil tenor.
What was it? We come up with something. We don't even remember them. We keep coming up with these ridiculous things, and we don't even remember them.
I usually get them when I edit the show. I'm like, oh, that was good, and I go back and add them. So that's what we're trying to do. But
see, this is why everybody needs a Darragh in their life. Darragh is the pillar, the absolute, the support beam that holds this entire enterprise together.
I appreciate that, man. I don't know. I just have the software that allows me to edit. That's all. That's just the difference.
You have the software, but hey, you also have the hardware.
Oh, there we go. So look, this week, guys, we are going to do something a little bit different. We're recording on Friday. Money in the Bag is tomorrow. We might touch on that, but we're going to obviously look at that next week. But so much wrestling this week. Holy hell. I had no internet for like 3 days at the start of the week, so I actually missed Forbidden Door. We are going to talk about Forbidden Door. I still haven't seen it. I've only saw the Punk match there as we were like talking earlier on.
It was double forbidden for you.
I couldn't believe it. I got back from the seminar and my internet died, and they're like, oh, we'll fix it on Tuesday. I'm like, cool, because I have nothing to do on Tuesday. It's not like I work from home or anything,
Darragh, like, I'm the big AEW mark, but Darragh actually loves AEW more than me, and he loves it so much that he won't like break kayfabe. So whenever there's a pay-per-view called Forbidden Door, or he won't watch it. He's like, no, it's forbidden.
It's forbidden.
Tony says no.
Tony says, they should call it that. Tony says no.
Tony says
that should be the name of the pay-per-view.
Deadly.
Tony says no.
Tony says no. It'd be like John Moxley coming out, like wrapped in barbed wire, like an exploding baseball bat, coming up against Kenny Omega, who's got like a broom covered in like razor blades, and then they stand in the middle of the ring, and then what do you call him? The announcer comes out and he just says, "Lads, Tony says no," and then they just go back to the locker room.
Oh man, it'd be amazing. Think of the heat. It'd be unbelievable. Yeah, so that didn't happen, but we are going to talk about it. Martin did see it, so we're going to talk about that for half the show. But the other half of the show, the first part of the show, is more recent because it happened last night. I actually randomly, on a whim, went to go see WWE live in Dublin.
I love this. Like, how many podcasts will do a review of a house show? This is, I'm really excited to hear this.
I have to say, right, so it was it was wild because I was like, back in the day, I used to just go with Gary to we got some cheap seats and we just like sit up in the rafters and watch it and just have a laugh. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go by myself. I'll get like.
Who's Gary? Gary sounds delightful.
Gary's great. Gary used to host the Wrestling Rewind, the previous incarnation of the Wrestling Rewind for many years. And when I do
it hurts me that you did a version of this without me, but
it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same show, though, Marin. It really wasn't.
It was professionally run.
No,
it didn't require such stringent editing.
No, the thing about it wasn't. A lot of it was, oh my god, WWE is so terrible. Why? Why
are we so different?
Why are we watching this? Yeah, but then it would also be like, oh my god, TNA is on fire at the moment. It didn't have the fun that we have, where it's like, let's watch good wrestling and stuff that doesn't.
Could we do a retro episode? Could we get Gary back in for one, or is he gone, or is he?
I don't know. He has like a wife and a kid now, and all that kind of stuff. I could ask him. I mean, I think
wives and children.
Get the band back together. I think I could coax him back in to do one show.
For one night only.
What are we literally just going Impact Wrestling now? Where do you have one night on series?
But because he said he has a wife and a kid, so I didn't want to say like the ECW like one night stand. So then he has to say to his wife, sorry, can you look after the children tonight? I have to go and do one night stand. Like,
oh man.
Like Mrs. Gary will react.
I will ask him. I think he might. I will ask him because it's been a while. But I do have all the archive of those shows. So I mean, if the appetite is there for older shows, I can put them up on the feed. But I'll ask him.
Do you know what people love is not older stuff. They have nostalgia for older stuff. But what they want is updated versions of older stuff, which is why AEW Fight Forever is the new WWF No Mercy. It's amazing. I love it. Sorry, I know we're going to do a wrestling game episode.
We are. It's not this one because I have to play both games. So let's keep it. Okay. Right. Okay. So anyway, what we used to do is we used to go and get the cheap seats and I mean, that's a fun experience anyway, because you just cheer for all the heels and boo all the faces, and it's just hilarious. But
except for Triple H,
you never boo Triple H.
Oh,
how dare you?
Boo him! If I ever met him, I'd headbutt him.
Oh no! Come on! Don't be saying things that wound me like that.
And it wouldn't even be anything to do with AEW. Wouldn't be anything to do with like the McMahons. Wouldn't even be to do with the fact that he violated a corpse. It would be in
storyline. It was not real, folks. Come on, and we got the Katie Vick scale out of that. So,
wrestling's real. All right,
wrestling's real. How dare you? Okay,
it would be his role in the Montreal Screwjob. Brett might have forgiven them. People think Brett's better. They have never met me.
That's fair. But the point I was making was it is a good way to walk. Like, tickets are like 30 quid normally. But I said, you know what? I'm going to splurge a little bit. I'm going to get one of the ringside seats because it's been like 10 years since I got ringside seats to anything. Last time I pretty much got them for free. I had Randy Orton versus Punk where he redid the WrestleMania match. It was phenomenal. It really was. That was the match that had the RKO off the top rope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
so that
would
was
it would
class.
absolutely take Punk to get a decent match out of Randy Orton.
No, it was very good though, and they just redid their WrestleMania match, so I was happy. But that was the last time I was ringside for wrestling. So I said, you know what, I'll pay the €97 or something the ticket turned out to be.
€97.
Yeah, like yeah, it was.
I tried to get ringside seats for Wembley, and they
£2,000.
were £1,200.
Oh my god.
And that wasn't even front row. That was like ringside, like row 9.
Oh man, but no, as I said, look, I was like, right, I'll go for that, and then I was able to get one. You know, I have to say, so I've been to a few of these. Last one I went to with a friend of mine, and we were sitting up in the cheap seats, and there was nobody there. Like there was a few people there, but it wasn't packed. This, I think it's a combination of it's been a long time since they've been here, the pandemic, it's just kind of everything. The place was packed. 9,000 people. Oh, pretty much there was not a free seat in the house. And I was like, this is actually brilliant because it sends a huge message to WWE. It's like, hey, you know, you can actually put shows here now. People have an appetite for it. And it was great. It really was. You know, I know a lot of kids were there and it's to be expected, but man, I felt so sorry for the merchandise and the concession stand people. Like I left early because you know because of the main event. But anyway,
we'll get to that.
And I walked out and it's just like a war zone. The whole place was picked clean, you know, and I was just like, man, WWE cleaned up. And you know, that it just shows you.
Think of the poor parents having to buy €50 t-shirts.
Well, you know, no, okay. So a long time ago on WrestleView, Hunter Golden explained it like this: when WWE moved to PG, why that happened? Because he used to do some writing for WWE, and he was saying that, you know, okay, if you have a group of teenagers or like young adults or even older adults who go to a wrestling show, they might buy one t-shirt. You bring a bunch of, you have a more widely appealing show where, to say, you have a mom and dad, maybe 2 kids, and maybe their friend. All of them are getting popcorn. All of them are getting a Coke. All of them, the parents might get a beer, and all those kids are getting merch. So it's like, man, when you see it in person, you're like, whoa, I've never. It was like a herd of locusts had picked the entire place clean. It was insane. Ironically, the only place that wasn't packed was the bar. You could actually go and get a drink, and I was like, oh, this is weird. It's the reverse of a gig.
Do you know what? And it's kind of pertinent now because when it comes to merch, like I don't mind paying, and like you expect to pay even more at the venue than that. But I don't mind paying for stuff as long as I pay for quality. And I have to say, the best €20 I ever spent at an event was the gorgeous, comfortable, horrenda t-shirt that I'm currently adorned in. This podcast is brought to you by me, my horrenda t-shirt, my pants, and that's about it. And it's comfortable, it's breathable, and even though I'm only sitting here in my pants on my couch doing a wrestling podcast, I look like an absolute badass.
Oh man, well look, I mean, we tried to give quality, and I'm glad you picked one up. So that was the main thing. But the show itself. So before we get into it, the card is up on Aiken Promotions, but they did change it, and it was weird because, again, like sometimes they might change the show, sometimes they don't. So going to quickly go through the card here.
You can, but before you can upload your results to Cage Match.
I think I will, because I don't think they've done it. Like, so I think I'll put them up.
Excellent.
So Sheamus opened the show with Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and as you can expect, it was the Sheamus show. He got half an hour. It was great. Huge pop. Oh my God, massive pop. He comprehensively beat Karrion Kross, who was actually like quite good. And then he cut like a massive promo, and there was some back and forth. Scarlett ended up trying to attack Sheamus. Sheamus is like, listen, I know you're upset because I just be your man, but there's a lot of future WWE superstars here who aren't ready yet, but I do have one that is ready. And we had the debut of Layla Valkyria.
Oh!
Yeah.
So she used to be Valkyrie. She was a regular with CCW, I'm with Phoenix Wrestling, and now with Rebel County Wrestling.
Yeah.
I never wrestled her myself, obviously, because intergender stuff isn't that big. But she used to come down and train with us a lot, and I refereed a couple of her matches, and
She's very good.
Is fantastic.
She is. You took the words out of my mouth. So she had a match with Scarlett and won, and it was, while it wasn't a match of the night, it was up there. It was a very, very good match. And the thing about it was the crowd, obviously. So it was our first, like, I don't know if it was our first debut, but I think it was.
No, so it depends what you mean. She was actually picked up by NXT UK, and she worked with NXT UK for a while, and then obviously that fell apart, and now it's just NXT. But I saw on Twitter one of the few reasons to keep Twitter is, to keep up with like these kind of like house shows and stuff that you wouldn't have been at. But I saw that she was on it, so I went on her Twitter, and she has down on her Twitter like hashtag NXT. So I think she might have been picked up by them, at least as a developmental. But she's amazing, and her boyfriend, or I don't know, maybe they're more at this stage. Peter Farrell, also an amazing wrestler, would definitely be a great pickup. He's actually, what's he known in? See, the worst thing in being in wrestling is that you either learn somebody's real name or you learn their stage name.
Yeah.
You never know. Oh, he's Justy.
There you go. Check out Justy.
You don't know Justy, do you?
No,
I
don't.
Brilliant. He wears these like granny panties, and he does this big dirty fish hook. Like he just swings his finger right into the mouth and whips them up. I refereed a match in Limerick between him and the Ballymun Bruiser.
Oh, I know the Ballymun Bruiser.
Oh my God, it was just the best fun. Justy, I've never seen somebody like on a local indie circuit who you're looking at and you're going, that guy's a star. Like he's come into this, small building with 50 people in it, and he has commanded the attention of every single one of them. Like
that's the way it should be.
Oh, he's excellent. He's excellent. And then in that match, the Ballymun Bruiser was like, Justy's going to duck, and then I'm going to hit you with a forearm, and you're going to be knocked out. All right. And I was like, yeah, no bother. And he's like, I'm gonna like, it has to look good, so I'm gonna lay it in. So you really have to like fall out of the ring and just like play it knocked out, like don't move for the rest of the match. And I was like, yeah, no bother. And then Justy ducked, and the Ballymun Bruiser hit me with, he said it was a forearm. I'm almost certain it was a sledgehammer. It just absolutely fell out of the ring and lay there motionless till the end of the match. There's no acting required.
Well, look, his girlfriend is quite good in the ring.
Brilliant.
She was brilliant, and she got the win in quite good time against Scarlett. Huge pop. Sheamus again. Then battered Karrion Kross again, and went around the whole crowd, gave everybody high fives. Place went mad.
Was this hometown hero stuff for Sheamus?
Yeah.
Or are they? Do you think they're setting Sheamus up maybe to take the IC title off Walter?
No,
because hometown heroes.
Yeah, because he came in and he talked about the RTE thing and made a joke about Ryan Tuberty, and the place went mental. And it was just a bit of crack, I think it was as well to kind of to get Valkyria out as well. So look, it was a great night for her. The place was packed. Nuclear heat for the heels throughout the night. Cross looked great as well. So did Scarlett. So yeah, good way to start things off. Then from there was the Brawling Brutes, Holland and Butch, who were also over like you wouldn't believe, against Hit Rose, Ashanti Adonis, and Top Dollar. Now, these guys I can't stand. I know that's the point, but they're like discount Wish versions of Cass and Enzo.
Oh, I
like,
thought you were going to say Crime Time.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. You took the words out. So like Crime Time mixed with Big Cass and Enzo. It's like, oh, I've seen this before, but this is so much worse. So these guys are terrible.
I'll never get over the
laptop stealing.
The Cyber Sunday we did, where they nick King's laptop, and you're like, oh, I wonder what storyline this is going to lead into. It's like, no storyline. WWE is just telling us that black guys steal computers. That's just for no reason.
Well, no, it was so they could sell it, man. That was their gimmick. They were thieves.
Obviously, yeah. They weren't stealing it to keep it as a paperweight, or
no, they were stealing it to sell on the market. The illegal market, if you will.
Although, given King's record, I'd say if you're going to sell his laptop, then you'd probably be the FBI.
You need to wipe the hard drive. Microwave that hard drive. It's seeing some things. But yeah, so these guys' gimmick is like a mix between those two things, where they come out and they're trying to be like, like Crime Time, but not. And then they also do the whole Kaz thing. So they came out and got a whole by the book cheapy thing, where they're like, oh, it's great to be here in Belfast. And it was like, boo. It's like, oh, and it's like, oh no, we're in Dublin, the best part of the UK. It's like, oh, boo. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the whole thing. So obviously, the
best, and like, I love MJF, absolutely love him. So it's very rare that you see him dunk on someone and then get dunked back on. But he was on Twitter a couple of months ago, and he was like not arguing. There was obviously some fan from Ireland who was saying, you're a piece of crap, blah, 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 whatever. And he just tweeted back, hey, man, Ireland is part of the UK. And everyone was like, oh, MJF just dunked on you, woo. And this nobody just tweeted back, Israel is part of Palestine. Boom! The whole thing went up.
Is he from there?
No, but just, because he's like the big, like his Jewish heritage is a big part of this whole thing. And,
oh, God.
Like he really leans into that. And,
that makes sense. Well, okay, yeah.
Twitter just went like nuts.
Yeah, so that went completely over my head. I was like, what? Scott, that makes sense. I was like, I thought he was American. It's like, wait.
No, he's from Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, I'm missing something. But okay, that's gas. It's just pretty funny. Okay. So, where was I? Yeah, so from there, obviously the Brawling Brutes got the win, as you would expect. And then we started having some changes to the card, right? So we were supposed to get Rey Mysterio.
This was backstage in Dublin.
No, I think there were some injuries, or else they were protecting people. So, so I was talking to one of the lads who's sitting beside me, Jordan. Hey, Jordan, if you're listening, and we were talking because obviously, like, wrestling fans, you're going to talk, and that's how I knew Money in the Bank was on this week, because we're so in a time machine, man. I don't even know what day it is sometimes. So I'm just like, wait, what's going on? And again, yeah,
in Darragh's heart, it's always 1996.
No, it's always 1999 or 2000 when Triple H had the best run ever.
You really seem to enjoy Buried Alive.
I did like Buried Alive. That was some show where it really, really was. But then again, the game wasn't there. So I mean, he
had an opening match with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He wasn't the game then.
See, if you're a true Triple H fan, you'd know he's always the game.
Fair. Okay, so this is when stuff started to change, and I think it was either because they're protecting the lads before Money in the Bank, or else there were some injuries. So we had two like major changes on this card. And the first one there was no Rey Mysterio. So it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus LA Knight, which would have been
he
cool.
didn't show up at all.
No, Mysterio didn't show up at all.
Oh man, I'd be raging.
I was a little bit upset, but we did get a triple threat match. Austin Theory defending against AJ Styles and LA Knight for the US Championship match, right? So this
I'm really excited about two of those.
Yeah, this was a pretty good match, to be honest with you, except the ending, right? So I've become a huge LA Knight fan. That thing.
Yeah.
It was very annoying until it wasn't. And just over the course of being in the crowd with everybody loving it, I was like, you know what? I'm sold by this. Eli Drake, I will support you now as LA Knight. This is good. So I'm kind of invested in that character now, and I hope he does well. But yeah, he was quite good. The crowd loved him. Like, he was like super over. AJ obviously is AJ Styles. Come on, like I'm actually not going to lie here. I'm going to be honest. I kind of bought a ticket specifically to go see AJ Styles, because Dave couldn't because he's not in Ireland. Because I know that would be the right thing to do for Dave.
I honestly, God, I love Dave, and when we get him on the show, he's the best. And I love his really down patter, like really calm way of saying like incendiary stuff. I think it's brilliant. But my God, I absolutely love when he's not here and we dunk on him. It's just the best.
But it's true. I mean, I was like, listen, if I don't go to this show, I'm letting Dave down. I know he'd be upset if I didn't go. And also, AJ Styles is amazing. And like, anytime you get to see him, it's so great. Now, I will say the match itself, it was great. Had a terrible ending because like Austin Theory won in the cheapest way you can possibly imagine. It was pretty much a roll up. And it's just like, oh, okay. The match it makes sense. One, it's a house show. Two, it was a triple threat at the last minute. And there's no way they're doing that kind of title change here. It's just not happening. But yeah, Austin Theory again. The crowd hated him, of course. And then he said, look, like they did this cool thing where they actually used the mic an awful lot on the show, and that was kind of really cool. But yeah, basically he grabbed the mic and he's like, look, you can like it or not, but I'm still the United States champion. And everybody was like, boo. You're
not in the United States anymore, boy.
But LA Knight went in, battered him, and then AJ hit the phenomenal forearm. And obviously, like they were just celebrating, But there was a good little back and forward. The host was fun. The whole show didn't feel drawn out. It was a very short show now, to be honest with you, because of the 10 curfew in the 3 Arena. But it was still, quite good.
Whoa. The 3 Arena has a 10 curfew.
Yeah. This show was over like super quick.
It's mad. We can't figure out why. Like nightlife in Ireland never succeeds. It's total mystery, isn't it?
Look, but the thing
why
about
we
it
have
is, though,
no nighttime economy.
The thing about it is, well, here's the thing. I was able to go and see my mate's band in Fibbers afterwards, so I mean, I had a good time. So, and also,
we'll not turn this into the Raging Against the Irish Government podcast, but mother of God, somebody should start the Raging Against the Irish Government podcast.
All I can say is buy CDs for the local metal community, and you'll probably hear that in many songs. So there you go. I mean, you can do that. But yeah, so great to see LA Knight. AJ Styles phenomenal. I didn't even mean to do that. On Austin Theory as well.
You didn't even want no.
I didn't even mean to do that. Okay. Then the show kind of dipped a bit because we had Bianca Belair came out.
You're not a Bianca.
No,
you're not a Bianca Bay.
No, Asuka wasn't there. I was devastated. So I'd
have left.
I was so upset. I was like, there's no Asuka. Oh my God. So I was very upset. Bailey came out though, and everybody loved Bailey, even though she's a heel.
Yeah. Everybody
loved Bailey. And then the worst part of the night happened. Do you know what it was?
Is this the main event?
No. So there was supposed to be a fatal 4-way. It's a 3-way. So there was one other woman that came out. Guess who it was?
Oh, okay.
One guess.
Hold on.
You have one guess.
Right. I'm going to take this. So it's a fatal 4-way. So who's in it so far?
So no, it was removed. It became a triple threat match.
So who's in it? So who's in the triple threat so far?
Bianca,
Bailey, and it was supposed to be Asuka, but they replaced Asuka with someone who made you upset.
No, they took. So it was supposed to be a women's championship match, right? And obviously Asuka isn't there, so it's not a women's championship match. So they just had a 3-way with Bianca, Bailey, blank.
Okay.
She looks like a horse.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
The other one.
I don't know what the other one is.
Charlotte Flair.
Oh no!
I know.
Is Charlotte Flair like
people cheered her? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm like, you people, what's wrong with you?
Do you know what? It's the fact that in Ireland we never get any of these shows and these stars. And
no, but I mean, listen. I'm like, if you want, look, she's not good. She can't do anything.
Oh, she is. Here's the thing. Charlotte Flair is good. She's really good, but she was.
Yeah, but she's not though.
No, but she. Do you know what she is? She's Roman Reigns without the redemption. She was overexposed for so goddamn long. She was shoved down people's throats, but they never got to the point where they were like, "Oh, hold on, maybe we completely changed this."
And
character.
she won. She won, which is worse.
Exactly.
She won.
But that's what I mean.
I mean, look,
just keep. It's it took them. How long did it take them? 10 years to learn a lesson with Roman Reigns.
By the way, so there's a great video by Super Eye Patch Wolf on YouTube. Everyone should watch it.
Brilliant.
Tell them we sent you. And he covers the whole arc. It's art. It's absolutely incredible. But listen,
any of Super Eye Patch Wolf's video.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
So Darragh sent me one ago a while ago about what was the game?
Undertale, was it? Oh no, it was. Yeah, sorry, it was Fear, Darkness, and Hunger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never played the game. I'd never even heard of the game. But your man, Super Eye Patch Wolf, has such a great way of drawing you into a subject. I sat and watched that whole thing, just gripped. He's a fantastic YouTuber.
Yes, I'm gonna actually, like, all joking aside, I'm gonna try to get him on the show because really would like that. Anyway,
if any of you do watch his videos, you owe us a Super Eye Patch Wolf $2.50.
Or no, you owe us a Super Eye Patch Wolf comment. Just comment and say, "Hey, we heard about you on the Wrestling Rewind." We'd appreciate that, and then maybe drop a link to the podcast. That's off. Okay, so look,
save yourself $2.50.
Exactly. I would have been happy if Bailey had a won, but obviously she wasn't going. She was the heel. I would have been happy if Bianca won because I'm like, okay, look, at least Bianca is quite good in the ring. I'm not a huge fan of her. I kind of want a heel to shave her head because the hair is very annoying. Like I really just like if I was a heel. If I was a heel in WWE, that would be my stated goal. That's all I'd want to do is just shave her head.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's like I don't know why. Like there isn't a female wrestler who's like, you know what? Don't care about titles. Hair versus hair match.
Because like
it's amazing.
Yeah, when you get hair versus hair matches, they never really matter much because they're always between like one guy who's bald and one guy who's going bald, like Kurt Angle and all that.
Yeah.
But if there's a wrestler whose character is like Bianca's character is like 90% her hair.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's heat.
I know. That's all I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, man, you would be the biggest heel in women's wrestling history.
And then she would get super over by being like, "Do you know what? I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm going to own it, and I'm going to grow my beautiful locks back and blah blah blah." Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, WWE, you can have that one for free if you want.
But come here. So, like the like in the 80s and 90s, the business model was that they would take these house shows around the US or around the world, and they would gauge the result of the fans to different things. So, like, I think the most infamous thing is that apparently there was the WCW did a house show run of Hogan Flair, and that's why we never got an actual Hogan Flair match. So, you as a fan who was at this house show, did you get any kind of insight into maybe who the next big thing is, who's coming up, like who might do well?
LA Knight. Yeah, no, honestly, LA Knight, he's going to be huge. He's going to be huge. So Charlotte obviously won, right? And then we had Santos Escobar versus Solo Sikoa, right? Both of those guys worked their butts off. And I think Solo is going to be a huge star as well. And same as Escobar. Escobar obviously doing the LWO thing, which is actually very cool in person, to be honest with you. It's like, that's actually something I never thought would be cool because it's not supposed to be. You know, it's supposed to be a throwaway thing from WCW. But they've kind of reclaimed it now and made it something cool.
Really well in Ireland, because in the north we consider all the free staters to be Mexicans.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, Solo won with the spike. Actually, this was the match was quite good, as I said. But the final bit, basically, there was like off the top rope, Escobar was caught by Solo, and Solo was hit him with the spike, and that was it. It was very, very good.
So come here, in terms of these house show matches, like whenever I think of house show, I think of the guys getting a run out and doing a bit of like messing around and having the crack and that, blah blah. But you're saying like they were having some genuinely like hard hitting matches.
Yeah, I mean, you either get, like, as I said, I've been to a bunch of house shows and you can get one or the other, but it seems like since WWE have changed their stage, and it actually, they have this cool Tron up where it's like, it's not the full Tron obviously, but it's meant like a social media wall, but then it shows like the video and all that kind of stuff, and they play like top 10 from the week and stuff. So I think a lot of this is trying stuff out and seeing what works and trying to test new things. It's like the gig I did tonight where there was like nobody there, but we were testing out new material. That's what a house show's supposed to be for. It's like a limited, controlled environment where you're still kind of testing stuff before TV.
Darragh wanted to know what the response would be if he played the bass in a thong. That's why he did the gig tonight, and we're not going to spoil the outcome for Horrenda fans.
Well, it wasn't Horrenda.
I'm saying we're not going to spoil the outcome for Horrenda fans, because you were doing it tonight to test out the thong, see what you thought, and Horrenda fans, you'll find out at the next gig whether the thong got over or it didn't.
Anyway, so the
oh my God. Like, top 10 dismissive anyways you've ever heard in your life.
Anyway. So the main event, and at this point, I walked. I left my seat after like halfway through this. So an undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship fatal 4-way match. Try to think of a more convoluted way to do this match. You had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending against the Usos, the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Pretty Deadly.
Oh my God, that was. Oh, do you know what? Kind of just makes me warm to feel that those lads are still getting paid.
I know, right? I know. I was so happy to see them. Again, another reason why I bought a ticket was I was like, oh, the lads.
Gallows!
Yes, it's like the lads just there. Like, it was amazing.
Modern day Nash.
And also, funny enough, he was fake Kane. It was fake Diesel. So, yeah, I mean, like, or sorry, it wasn't fake Diesel. It was fake Kane, who was fake Diesel. So, it's kind of funny. So,
I love that thread. That's a wonderful thread.
I'm telling you, right? This is why they pay us the big bucks. All the X-Pac euros. So Pretty Deadly, I wasn't aware of this team, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this team before, many times before, but I don't like these guys. These guys are entertaining.
Who are they?
So basically, they're effeminate, pretty boys, Pretty Deadly, and that's their gimmick. They're like a mix between.
Would you go so far as to call them femboys?
No. But they're kind of like, you know, Billy Gunn.
Loyal listeners of Phoenix FM, don't Google femboys.
The amount of editing in the show I'm going to have to do now is actually
not actually said it bad.
I know, but I'm still going to have to like. If this is why you listen to the podcast, because this is all staying in. But as far as the radio,
no, I said loyal listeners of Phoenix FM, don't Google femboys.
Stop saying femboys.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Listeners of Phoenix FM, stop Googling femboys.
Okay, to answer your question.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
So-
go. Yeah, go. Yeah. What was the question I asked
So you were
20
asked
minutes ago? Who
what
are
were
they?
what were they like? Okay, so basically they're like, Billy Gunn's whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use
Ass
it. Yeah, where
Which
he's
Which
okay.
is different from a femboy.
So he's kind of doing the Shawn Michaels Billy Gunn thing in 2023. That's what they're kind of doing, right? So they're an English team, though. So they're known as Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Okay.
Oh, so they're dandies.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not
Effectively.
femboys, they're dandies.
Effectively. Right.
Would
So-
you consider Shawn Michaels a femboy? Do you think Vince McMahon considered Shawn Michaels a femboy, and that's why he was so upset about those pictures of them in bed together?
So this was my first exposure to Pretty Deadly, and I was like, okay, fair enough, right? So they're obviously mega heels, and they were the whole, they were added in the last minute, so they were the whole, like, the only ones that weren't really getting cheered at all, right? The Usos obviously were massively over. Sami Zayn and Owens were over, and the OC, it was great to see them. But I left halfway through because, I was like, okay, once Sami Zayn's music hit, I kind of felt sick and had to leave. Not because I was sick, just I hate Sami Zayn. And
Oh, you hate Sami Zayn.
yeah, I just can't. I was so happy to see Kevin Owens, and I was like, oh,
I mean, I love Kevin Owens, but I also really love.
nah.
So I'm
Just don't.
kind of taken aback by this. What is it you don't like about Sami Zayn?
His music.
But is that it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But so, like I say, I don't really watch WWE. Is his music not still the da 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 da?
Yeah, that's the problem.
And you
So-
don't like that?
No. It's and one thing I really didn't like in this show was all the rap. Everyone has rap
Yeah.
music for some reason. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, it's now and I feel like old man shouts at cloud, like, but it's like
No, it's just I'd like to welcome people to the Wrestling Rewind podcast with Martin Hurty and Kurt Angle. No, Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hennig. Oh, I ruined my own joke. God damn it! I ruined my own bloody joke.
No, it's more just kind of like,
Kurt Hennig and his rap is crap gimmick.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, but
God, I bloody ruined. I'm so upset. I know I messed up that joke.
But no, I mean, like, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, like, some rap's okay, but it's like we've come full circle. It's like you remember in the Attitude Era, or even in the Ruthless Aggression Era, everybody hit it, but that kind of music where, yeah, it was just like, guitar generic metal for everybody, where nothing stood out except for the ones that did. That's happened now with R&B and rap. So I mean, like, you have AJ, who has obviously rap inspired music, and that stands out. You have the Usos, that stands out, but like, there's just so much of it throughout the rest of the show where everybody has similar kind of music. You're like, oh, okay, this isn't, and that's why when the OC came out, I was like, oh my God, some kind of metal. This is actually like, this is grand. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe it's not for me.
No, like,
But that was my takeaway.
It sounds like big public company like WWE is obviously going to follow the trends.
Yeah, and
But
look, metal
as-
isn't popular anymore, so it makes
No,
sense.
and it breaks my heart to say that as a 37-year metalhead.
Yeah, it's true.
But,
I mean, the thing about it is, it's not like, I mean, that's what, but it's just, there's some kind of, I don't know. It's just the
But that
I don't
is
know.
what makes me feel slightly superior as an AEW fan, because even if you don't like AEW, even if you don't like Tony Khan, even if you don't like AEW wrestling, I don't think there's a single person could honestly argue that WWE has better music than AEW. I think when say whatever you want about angles and shows and everything else, I think when it comes down to it, I think AEW has the better music by far.
Remember.
Partly because Tony is willing to license like actual songs.
unless Tony says no.
Tony says no.
Tony says no.
I want to fight John Moxley in an exploding banana Mario Kart match. Tony says no.
So yeah, basically the show itself was quite good. If you've never been to a WWE house show, I'd recommend it. I mean, like, look, the cheap seats, definitely an experience to have. The Tree Arena is fantastic. No matter where you're sitting, you're always gonna, be able to see it. So it's quite good. And the obviously, Sammy and Kevin Owens won. It was a done deal before the match even started, Martin. But yeah, look,
but what if you walked out, what if you had been one of the lucky few? Do you remember Bret Hart beat Ric Flair on a house show in Saskatoon for the world? I mean, that could have been you, Darragh, but you took that risk.
I didn't, because I was like, there's no, I mean, look, no one would have been happier. I've been to house shows enough, WWE house shows enough to know what happens. And you know what? I beat the crowd. I was able to survey the pickings left by the locusts on the merch and the poor concession people. And that's the only way I can describe it. I was like a war zone where it's just like, man, everything is gone. And then I was able,
oh, give me that S.A. Rios t-shirt. What is that?
Give me those used paper towels.
Is that a headbangers? Is that a headbangers t-shirt that you're using to mop up the water that you spilled? Yeah, give me that.
I mean, I'd buy a
€57.
I'd buy a headbangers t-shirt, man. Come on.
Actually, yeah, I don't even know why I said that. I would buy a headbangers t-shirt. Was it Mosh and
Thrasher?
Oh,
yeah.
That's why I love doing podcasts with Darragh, because he is my jigsaw piece. I have all this information and memories about wrestling, and I say, this such and such, and then I'll go blank, and then Darragh just slot that jigsaw in there, and I'll be like, oh,
there we
Darragh,
go.
you complete me.
I appreciate that, man. But legitimately, if they had sold the used paper towels they were cleaning the beer up with and wrote WWE on them, they would sell. Everything sold, man. I couldn't believe it. Everything sold.
I am signed up to the AW shop, and see, as soon as an event is over, they're like, hey, give us $200 for a 4x4 square inch piece of the ring canvas. And I'm like, no. I love AW, but lads, there's a level. This is some nonsense.
Here's what was wild, right? And it might get me in trouble, might not, but whatever, right? They were selling the belts, right? And listen, folks,
the real ones?
No, the replicas. Listen, if you look, if you go to wrestling shows with a belt, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, look, you do you, boo, okay? But I just don't understand it. I mean, you're not going to wrestle. And particularly if you're a kid, whatever, right? You're a kid, that's fine. If you're a grown adult, I don't understand it. I mean, I have belts. I've earned them. That makes sense. I have belts to hold up my trousers. That makes sense. I don't understand by a replica belt to hang up like as a decoration. Totally cool. Totally get it. Bringing a belt to get signed. Totally cool. I don't understand bringing a belt
with it over your shoulder to wear
for no reason. I mean, I saw this a lot. And look, if you're one of those people who do it and listen to us, please God, let me know why. Just one line. Hey, Darragh, this is why. Cool. I'd love to know.
Or if you can't
nerdtoknowmedia@gmail.com.
If you can't offer an explanation, at least offer us some other examples. Do you also go to the Olympics wearing a load of gold medals? Do you go to a metal gig with your guitar? What is?
do you go to karate tournaments with black belts?
Yeah,
on eBay.
Yes.
It's I just don't understand it. It makes no sense. I just don't get it. I'm like, okay. And what's crazy about it is, right, WWE have obviously cashed in on this. So I'm not just having a bit of a rant. I mean, I am, but I'm not. They were selling.
I like this. I like this line we're going down.
They were selling the belts, right? So obviously we have to go belts for I think the cheapest one was €150. I'm like, and they were going all the way. The mid-tier one was €250. I'm like, and they were all sold out. I couldn't believe it. This wall of belts, and I'm like, oh my God, someone dropped €400 belts. don't understand it. I really don't.
But what I don't get is like, right, so you've bought this, but so WWE's coming to Dublin.
I mean, I couldn't have said it. I like if you end up and said, "I challenge you,"
but WWE's coming to Dublin, and you've said, "Do you know what I'm doing? I'm bringing my Intercontinental belt."
Yeah,
there you go, grand, right? So then you hop on the Lewis with your IC title.
I've seen this
because you can't exactly put it in a bum bag.
No, this was a lot of people last night. Go on, sorry, continue.
Yeah,
a lot of people, more than one, more than 10
with your IC title. But here's the thing: so wrestling fans look at you, and then because they're wrestling fans, they know you're not the IC champion, right? And you go, nah, you're a smick. You're not the IC champion, right?
All right.
But then non-wrestling fans look at you and they go, what the name of God is this? What are you?
I mean, even wrestlers hate
what is
walking around with
this?
them. Even wrestlers, like the real ones with the actual belts, they hate bringing them around because people look at them weird. And I'm like,
yeah,
like fair enough. Look,
boxing champions don't walk around with their like.
It's one of the things I just never understood, and I was kind of like, just
Darragh is like he would never let on because he's so humble. Is very very established martial artist, but Darragh doesn't go. Oh, me and the missus are heading out to Madigan's tonight for dinner and a few pints. Better put on my purple belt. Or I'm not sure what belt, but he's a very experienced belt. But the point is that Darragh,
the one just before black.
Yeah, what is this?
It's red. It's red tag. No, black tag. Black tag.
So Darragh doesn't put his jeans on when him and the missus are heading out, and then strap the red tag belt around his jeans.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. It's just I just don't get it. I really, and I mean, look, as I said, I was kind of expecting some of the merch to still be there, particularly the belts. I mean, like this wall of belts, this was like half the merch stand. And I'm like, man, they sold so much that people went in and bought all the belts. Wild, man. Just crazy. But again, look, we're going to leave it there for this. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about Forbidden Door on the podcast version only. So look, if you're listening to us on Phoenix FM and like, oh my God, okay, I want to listen to that, go over to nerdtoknowmedia.com. Go over to anywhere really that does podcasts. Spotify is good as well. You can just type in Nerd to Know Media or The Wrestling Rewind and we'll pop up. And we can also say things that we cannot say on the radio. Because here's the thing, you've probably heard some weird cuts if you're listening on Phoenix FM. There's a reason for that. I've had to edit the show down.
You definitely haven't, because I have made sure I have not said anything legally wrong. So join us on the podcast where Darragh is going to give us the full extent of femboys.
I knew you were going back to that. I was like, he's gonna go right back to it. But no, seriously, if you're listening to us and you're like, hey, I want the rest of the podcast, or I want to hear the full unedited podcast, you can go over and get the show for free. And also, if you do know why people bring replica belts to this is kind of like the battle jacket thing for me, where I don't understand battle. We'll probably talk about it on the other one, but anyway, if you do,
battle jacket,
I'll explain it on the there you go, I'll explain on the podcast version.
Yeah, it's on the podcast. You're missing so much.
Missing so much.
Get on the podcast. Darragh's going to explain battle jackets. He's going to go like he's going to do a deep dive into femboys. We're going to get we're going to set up a Patreon femboy €3.
Oh my God!
Like it's battle jacket €4. Like Patreon is constantly expanding. Missing out, folks. Like, we love Phoenix FM, but Phoenix FM is it's just the tip. It's a teaser. Like, that's it. You got to get on the podcast.
Exactly. So we'll be back after this break, guys. We'll see you next week, where we're going to talk about Money in the Bank here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. We'll be back after this break for the rest of the Wrestling Rewind. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.
welcome back to The Wrestling Rewind here on nerdtomedia.com, thewrestlingrewind.com, True Penny Channel, and wherever you get your podcast. Again, if you're joining us from Phoenix 92.5 FM, thank you so much. Please do subscribe. That really helps us a great deal, and spread the word of the show. Before we went to break, Martin, and the amount of editing I had to do on the show, thank you for that. We were talking about battle jackets. So a battle jacket, I can't stand. I really can't. It irks me in a very much the same way that the belts are.
It sounds like a Super Mario power up. What is it?
It's funny you mentioned it, actually. So basically, you know the people.
Is it a Super Mario power up?
No. But me and my friend are making a game called Battle Jacket where it's like it's a 2D platformer where you get more powers based on the battle jackets. And
is there, like, dear listeners, is there no limit to the creative ingenuity of our friend Darragh? Like,
I have great ideas.
Darragh's like, oh yeah, I'm writing a book, I'm making a game, I'm doing a podcast, I'm playing for one of my 3 bands, I'm fighting the jiu-jitsu master of Ireland. Like every time I talk to him, and then he goes to me, he's like, oh, what have you been up to? And I'll be like, oh, I cut the grass. Made a really nice sandwich.
Look, ideas are great. It's follow through. That's the hard part. So I mean, we haven't got past the planning stage, but we will get there eventually. But okay, so you know the lads, and they're usually rockers that wear the denim vest with all the little patches on it.
Is this a Triple H thing? Is this why you like this?
No. I ironically I hate it. But no, Triple H wears the denim with the like over the leather, which is actually pretty cool. No, this is the lads that
that's a hat on a hat.
Yeah, okay, but they wear it and they have the patches of their favorite bands, right?
Yeah,
and it makes me feel. It makes me every time I use the term battle jacket, it makes me want to throw up in my mouth because I'm like, who are you battling? You couldn't take a punch to save your life, like. Like, I mean, you're really good.
So is it like meant to be a reference to, like moshing and stuff? Because
yeah, I think so. But it's like anytime you see them wearing it, they're the lads with the arms crossed, watching the show. It's like you're not even battling anybody. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. So this is why this upsets you, like the people who come to a wrestling show wearing or like with a belt over their shoulder.
Yeah, I think it's related to it. Yeah,
you're not earning. Like, so whenever you said it initially, I was actually quite like loved Darragh very much, but I think I'm gonna have to disagree with him here because I'd recently read the Pogues autobiography.
Yeah,
Shane McGowan would like go to all these punk shows, and he'd rip the sleeves off like this denim jacket and would sew his different punk bands into it, but they were always getting into fights with mods and
like that makes sense. That makes sense.
The Pogues actually got their start because somebody bit. It's actually a bit like Mick Foley. Somebody bit Shane McGowan's ear off at a gig.
Oh my god,
a punk gig, and I can't remember what the name was, but at the time in London there was like a punk newspaper, and it was like if you were punk, it was the thing to be seen in. And it came out one issue with Shane McGowan on the front cover in his battle jacket with safety pins for earrings on one ear, and on the other ear, just no ear.
You see, okay, but that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that at least makes sense. I mean,
yeah, if Shane McGowan said, "This is my battle jacket," you'd be like,
fair enough.
Yeah,
I'd be like, you. But what I mean, the lads who wear it are like, look at my battle jacket. Look how great my taste in music is. I'm going to sit here with my arms crossed, and like, for example, so I can use the term.
Now I get it.
Yeah, so I can use I can use it here because we're not on an FM. Right, so my bassist in Miranda came up with this term, cunt coat.
Oh yeah,
and I think it works because it's like if you see somebody wearing one of those or groups of them, you know they're probably a dickhead. And
yeah, it's they're not saying that they definitely are.
No,
maybe they have some disability. whereby to support their ribs they have to fold their arms, and to support their spine they have to lean against the wall. So we're not tarring everybody with the same brush.
Of course
We're
not.
just saying that if you are one of these people, there's a higher than 0% chance that you are a music snob, a
Yes.
metal snob.
Yes. In my experience, the odds are very high this is the case. And I mean, the thing about it is, and so that's where, so I've often said on this podcast that like wrestling and metal very much share a lot of similarities. And this, like, immediately I was like, oh my God, the same people who bring belts to shows just to stand with them are the same people that would wear battle jackets. It's wild. It's wild.
It is. It's like So I've done.
And again, look, if you're a fan of this show, I do appreciate it, and I've offended you. I'm sorry, but come on, gotta.
No, I mean it's. I think that's a fair.
I think these are fair, like yeah.
Because if you're going to make a spectacle of being that much a part of the community, you should at least engage in the community. Like, I would not show up to training wearing MMA gloves and then start replying to work emails.
Actually, have you seen that video of a guy in an MMA fight, like on a Zoom call?
Oh yeah, with the he's got a green screen background. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Brilliant.
It was very, very good.
But no, I think what you've done here is you've really walked very carefully the line between people who pose as something, and I think it's okay to not criticize, but maybe gently ridicule people who pose as something. I think that's
like,
on the good side of the line.
Well, cosplayers are something different, and I mean that makes sense. Like, I mean,
yeah, but
nobody's that's totally different. Yeah,
yeah, nobody's criticizing that. But I'm saying I think you've very expertly walked the line between people who pose as something and posers.
Yeah,
I
think that's fair.
So so people wearing battle jackets or blah 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 strike me as the same type of people who would see a person wearing for example, a Horrenda t-shirt and go, name 3 Horrenda songs. Yeah.
Yeah. And
to which I would respond, fuck off, go fuck yourself, and have you fucked yourself recently? And I think I'd have probably about a 40% chance of being right, would I?
Well, here's the thing. In that case, it's interesting because it's like, it's all got to do with like gatekeeping, I think. And the same people that would bring belts would be very gatekeepery, I don't know. It's just when you're around these communities for so long, you're like, oh, you just get that like spidey sense thing where you're like, oh, this is probably bad. And then it becomes bad. And like, and even in wrestling, it's like there's so many cool people at shows. You just know it's like, oh, all right, if they have a belt, probably don't talk to them. Probably gonna go bad. And you're usually right.
It is like, and I think Twitter has a lot to answer for here, because if you meet wrestling fans in the real world, they are the best people in the world.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if you're AEW, WWE. That's not even like a. That's not even like a. Like if somebody even brought that up in real life, that's like super cringe.
Because you know why? Because you're just happy that you've met another wrestling fan.
It was like, oh my god,
that's what it is.
We live in Ireland, and there's like 20 of us.
Yeah, and you're just like, like that. When with Colin from Cell Games, when after the gig, I was like, man, you wrestling? And he was, yeah, and I was like, oh. It was brilliant, and I just spent the past 20 minutes like hurling abuse at him, like in a fun way, in a good way. But I think while he was playing, because that's what you should do. I mean, like,
so in real life,
of course,
in real life, I think wrestling fans are the best in the world. Like when you hear, oh my god, so last week, like people probably didn't see it because it happened on Rampage. God, I love Rampage, but it does break my heart that nobody watches it. So on Rampage, the Acclaim came out And there was a woman dancer who came out and she was like, "Oh, I know you want me. I know you want me. I know you want me." And Anthony Bones took the microphone off her and he was like, "Hey, I'm super gay." And like, if that had happened 5 years ago in wrestling, he would have been like how many WCW or WWF fan signs have we seen that use like derogatory
all the
slurs as
all
like
the slurs,
and 7,000 people in the arena were like, "He's super gay, he's super gay," like
in a positive way.
Yeah, but see, if you saw that on Twitter, just hellscape. So
that's true.
I honest to God think Twitter gives wrestling fans a bad name. I actually think we're all super sound, and there's like 3% of us are just wretched little trolls.
See, that's why the phrase "touch grass." Very true. Go outside. Go outside. And
touch grass and get run over by a lawnmower. You prick.
Well. He said it, so I didn't have to. So we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about some Money in the Bank is tomorrow. I don't think we'll have time to run through it, but I mean, okay, real quick.
Oh no,
really quick. So in the men's Money in the Bank, right? So I'm gonna name names here: Ricochet, Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. Who do you think is going to win?
Right. So, I mean, you have to, if you're going to make predictions, you have to look at it from two different ways. If you're going to look at it from a creative...
What does your gut say? No, what does your gut say?
Okay, I'll give you the two ways and I'll say what my gut says. If you're going to look at it from a creative point of view, LA Knight wins. That's obvious.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
If you're going to look at it from a business point of view, Logan Paul wins.
Oh, they're both really good picks.
No, they're not. LA Knight's a great pick. Logan Paul's a scumbag, right?
No. I mean, you've literally said exactly what's in my brain. Like, so I mean, you've picked exactly how they're going to do it. Yeah.
So, if you're asking me what my gut says, says WWE is not a wrestling promotion. It's a brand corporation, blah 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 blah.
So Logan Paul.
Like, if I had to put money down, I'd say Logan Paul. But I think there's a way to tell.
Okay.
Right. So I think if they're going to have Logan Paul win, right, it'll be part of some deal where, right, because he only wrestles like every so often.
Yeah.
If they're going to have Logan Paul win, I think they'll have him, like, part of the deal will be that he'll carry the briefcase everywhere. Like on his show, whenever he does any of his stupid stunts, whatever shite these YouTube wankers do, right? They'll have him carry the briefcase everywhere. So if the briefcase is hanging up there and it's just normal Money in the Bank briefcase, I think it's 50-50 who will win. But if the briefcase is hanging up there and it suddenly, for no reason, has a massive WWE logo on it, I think Logan Paul's winning.
Yeah, I think, honestly, and we're not giving you tips here because we don't do that. Do not bet on wrestling. That is stupid. No. Wrestling is not real. Don't bet on wrestling. But if you were going to and you feel urged to, I think the safe bet there, honest to God, like if I was betting on it, Logan Paul. It's just it's too obvious. There's too much to be gained from, as you said, from a get this everywhere perspective.
Yeah,
I mean that's
and like maybe to go with LA Knight because he's
hopefully
massive, hugely over, right? But like, so do you remember when we were talking a couple of weeks ago about like how everything makes sense for AEW and
Punk?
and Punk to have like a huge feud and like everybody should get together and like think of all the money they'd make and like that would be huge and then we said but Punk.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to matters of like corporate, just
shenanigans.
What is it? Not exposure. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Yeah, it is exposure.
Yeah, but when it comes to matters of corporate exposure, I think you just have to say but WWE. So the sensible guess would be LA Knight. The guess based on 40 years of watching WWE would be Logan Paul. Yep. All right. Darragh?
Yeah, here. Sorry.
Darragh's dead. It's not my podcast. Femboys ahoy!
Oh my god, dude.
Welcome to the Femboy Rewind, the only podcast that still loves femboys.
Hosted by Daddy Ass.
Oh, God damn you. My own joke and turned it against me.
The old switcheroo.
Vince Russo, swerve, bro.
Okay, so in the time we have left.
Oh my god, we haven't even talked about Forbidden. I'm sorry,
I'm trying to bring it back.
I love Darragh so much. He is mad to go and get noodles, but we're not getting through Forbidden Door the next 10 minutes. So
no, we're not.
I love you. I genuinely do. And I hate to deprive you of noodles, but I am going to do that very thing.
So let's do it this way, right? Instead of running down the whole card, because I think that's a bit much. I want you to give me, because there's a lot here, and I haven't seen it, and I really do want to see it.
Well, do you know what? Because I think you're being slightly terrified by Wikipedia. So the first 5 matches were pre-show, so you can just cut them out.
Okay.
Skip straight to MJF versus Tanahashi.
That's where I wanted to start.
And then there's only like 5 matches then.
Yeah, so I really wanted to kind of to dig into those ones because, like as you said, there are some pre-shows stuff there as well, right? So
yeah, never like balls. Like the only pre-show I'd mention is Filthy Tom Lawler was supposed to have a match with Adam Cole, but Adam Cole came down with like the flu, so they gave him like a match with, I think, Serpentico on the pre-show. But I don't think we need a 20-minute dissection of Tom Lawler and Serpentico on the pre-show.
So matches I have seen the Punk match, and I did see Omega and Will Ospreay, which is fantastic. So I'm going to open the floor to you here and kind of take us through those 5 matches.
Okay. So Punk, Tanahashi, brilliant. No, wait, am I mixing up? Was it MJF? No, it was Punk, Satoshi, and MJF, Hanatashi.
Yeah.
So MJF, Hanatashi was, I mean, like it was for the AEW World title, but I think everybody knew that wasn't changing hands. So this was basically an exercise in MJF being the heel, and it was phenomenal. Like, so Hanatashi's whole thing is that his knees are just bollocks, and what he used to do is like his, like, not taunt, but like his in-ring thing was like playing, like pretend to play the guitar. Punk, who walked out, by the way, in a robe that had written on the back, New Japan is an indie.
That's just amazing.
he's like, I think what I love about MJF is that he's obviously a bastard, but he's such a details focused bastard.
See, he just likes being a bastard, though. That's the thing.
I never like. He's so over. He's so popular. I never, ever, ever want to see him go face. I want him, I want him to be the opposite of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I want him to be a heel forever.
But look, I'll put it this way, right? I mean, the best heels are the ones that enjoy being heels.
Oh, absolutely. But anyway, so MJF had his match with Tanahashi, and I mean, the first thing he did when he got in the ring was he did like Tanahashi's guitar thing, and then he did like this ridiculous bow-legged walk. He did this bow-legged walk around the ring, and I mean, okay, the match was really good, but part of what this event suffered from, this is such a weird sentence, part of what this event suffered from, which was part of its success, was part of what the previous Forbidden Door didn't suffer from, which was part of its, not failure, but part of why it didn't do so good. So basically, the previous Forbidden Door, due to injuries and people being kind of reticent about it and New Japan not really being all in, was they didn't send the big names. Like, they didn't send the really big guys, right? But the last Forbidden Door was such a phenomenal success. So they sent the huge names. But the thing is, the huge names in New Japan now are, I mean, they're guys who've been doing a lot of years. You know, so Tanahashi, like, his knees are shot. Satoshi, I mean, he's hanging in there, but he's not the Satoshi of before. Ishii, like, he's got a incredible, like, background and aura. Like, his aura is incredible. But once the bell rings, like, you can see that he's not
the old Bray Wyatt problem.
He's not the Ishii of old. So this match with Tanahashi was really good. MJF did like a lot of like genuinely brilliant heel stuff. Like, he got a huge amount of heat. Tanahashi came alive for the fight back, like, and he really got the crowd behind him. Like, Tanahashi is undoubtedly still a star, but, and I'm saying this as a huge fan of AEW and a huge fan of New Japan, I was sat there in my pants with a big bottle of rum, watching this going, that's not 10-10 Tanahashi. You know, that's like, we're getting a lesser version of that. And that's not to criticize him, because he's obviously had I mean, I don't know what age he is, but I know that the New Japan style, like, just destroys bodies. But for what it was, he's
46.
46 in New Japan years, which makes him about 122.
Yeah, that checks out.
But it was a really good match because of what MJF did around Tanahashi. Load of amazing heel work.
There's actually a bunch of criticism around this match, believe it or not.
Oh no, I'd say there is. Like, it. Yeah. Again,
Tony actually even talked about it at a press conference.
It really depends. Like, your opinion of this match really depends on how well you know the MJF character and how well you know the history of Hiroshi Tanahashi. But so, what were some of the criticisms?
It was pretty much just what you said, that he was a lot slower than people were expecting. Because I think a lot of people who are watching this know Tanahashi from being Tanahashi and not, you know, his body. You know, it kind of seems like the old Undertaker problem, where, like, you know, this started to happen before he became super part-time. Even Sting, actually, as well, in TNA. there was other problems around Sting kind of doing the same. Look, people get old. It's what happens, you know. And
It's like what can you do? You can either sit there and you can go, all right, this dude's broken apart, but he's a huge star. So like, let's get into this match. Or you can go, oh, boo, you know, you can't run because your knees are shot because you've been landed on your knees in New Japan for 20 years.
You know, you can't, like, this is a case where you can't really have your cake and eat it too. It's like, if you want the big, you know, it's the old WCW thing as well. It's like, look, yeah, they're big stars. They're big stars for a reason, because they've had so much time logged in, they've done so much and ever, but they're broken down. Like, you know, that's what happens.
So this is actually where the difference between Forbidden Door last year and Forbidden Door this year really is apparent, because Forbidden Door last year, due to, I mean, being the first one and obviously due to being plagued with injuries, didn't have huge New Japan names. But because it didn't have huge names, they sent in the young guys, and it was like in ring, it was phenomenal. New Japan, Forbidden Door this year, they did have the big names, but because the big names are older guys, like the atmosphere was like much louder, because obviously these are big names and big matches and all, but in ring it wasn't able to deliver as much. And as me and you talked about earlier, the whole thrust of Forbidden Door is that it delivers in ring.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, I think since we're going through these, do you want to run through the card and kind of give results, and then we can pick out?
Yeah.
Highlights?
So, do you know what? Yeah, I won't make you go through everything. CM Punk and Satoshi Kojima.
I'm also, if you notice, I've slightly gotten you to say the Japanese names. So I
will be very expert at most of them, but definitely not all of them.
Because James Truepenny will be rather upset if I start butchering Japanese names.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, James Truepenny, who we've had on the podcast several times, and who is just the most wonderful, handsome man, would not be upset if you butcher them. He'd be upset if you got them perfectly right, because his whole gimmick is that he's the New Japan guy.
Ah, that's true. That's true. And you should listen to his show if you haven't, folks.
Yeah, you should. If you
we need
want
to get him back on. We need to get him back on for something that isn't the Brawl for All.
Oh my God. Well, if you want to hear all the New Japan names pronounced properly, you should go to James Truepenny. So anyway, CM Punk versus Sheamus Kojima. It was the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round. Really, this was actually supposed to be CM Punk versus Kenta, and
that's what I thought.
A bit of back and forth whether Kenta was the one who didn't want it or CM Punk was the one who didn't want it. I'll be honest with you. If you're either of them, I don't understand why you wouldn't. Maybe it's like a Stone Cold Brock Lesnar thing. Maybe they're saying, no, when CM Punk and Kenta fight, it has to be a main event. Maybe.
Fair.
But
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, look, I'll be honest with you. That's a match I do want to see, and it was one I was looking forward to. I'm kind of like,
great.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out it didn't happen. But I mean, hey, look, if they do it at like All In or whatever, like, absolutely do it in London. Why not?
Yeah. CM Punk won. Decent match. Like
it was. Yeah.
Good match. Not blow away. Not 5 stars or anything, but
no.
Very, very enjoyable.
A solid 3.5.
Yeah. But remember, I'm sitting here watching Forbidden Door, which has this reputation as, banger factory, and like, 2 really good matches. But when it comes to Forbidden Door, really good is like the standard is 2 insane matches.
Yeah.
Anyway, luckily, Orange Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr., Katsuyori Shibata, and Daniel Garcia came along to prove me wrong with an incredible 4-way match for the AEW International Championship. I mean, this is one of those matches where it's just you can't go through it move by move. AEW, and I don't know if it's AEW. I don't know if it's the way they do it. I don't know if it's because of the way WWE do it, or I don't know if it's just down to the individual wrestlers, how they like to formulate their matches. But AEW has this incredible way of doing 3-way and 4-way matches that are fights between 3 and 4 people. It's not that somebody gets thrown out and then you just have a one-on-one match for 5 minutes, and then somebody else comes in and throws somebody else out. Then you have a one-on-one match for 5 minutes. I have just the utmost respect for these wrestlers, because the way they structure these matches is, I mean, it's incredible.
And that's interesting because, like, it's funny you mentioned, the way that they normally do fatal 4-ways and triple threats. It's why I don't really like them, is because at the house show, that's exactly how they did their triple threat matches.
Someone was thrown out. Just a one-on-one match.
Yeah, and it was like, this is ridiculous.
No, this whole match, and it's mad because I'm looking at it now on Wikipedia, and I can't believe it was only 11 minutes long. But this whole match was a fantastically booked, like, really intricate dance between 4 different wrestlers, and they each had their time to shine, and they each had their time to be with, like, to fight each other, but they also each had their time to fight as a 4-way, and it was just, and I'm going to say the star of it, Orange Cassidy is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. In fact, my girlfriend is currently working on, I have a big tricolor up in my man cave, and my girlfriend is currently working on painting an Orange Cassidy logo on the orange part of the tricolor. Love, right. Zack Sabre Jr., he is half, and I mean half, a step below Bryan Danielson. He's amazing.
Wow.
Katsuyori Shibata as the pure champion, and I don't normally like gimmicked championships, but I love the pure championship. He is terrifying. He looks like someone who is not there to have fun, who's not there to wrestle you, who's to get in the ring
and
hurt you as quickly and efficiently as possible, right? But for me, the star of the match was Daniel Garcia.
Interesting.
He's in there with these 3 wrestlers, and he's doing this sports entertainer gimmick. So I know you haven't seen this, but there's this brilliant bit where there's Zack Sabre Jr. and Katsuyori Shibata, like 2 of the hardest men alive, right? And Daniel Garcia is in there, and I don't know if you've seen it, but he does this gyrating dance. Like, I'm a sports entertainer, right?
Yeah.
And Katsuyori Shibata just bang. And you know what these New Japan elbows are like? Like, they look like they break your jaw.
Yeah. Probably because they do.
Oh, yeah. Bangs him with one of these elbows. And Daniel Garcia, like, doesn't fall back, doesn't, like, fire up, doesn't shout, doesn't fight back. Just does his sports entertainer dance, and turns around, and Zack Sabre Jr. just clocks him with another one, and he just does his sports entertainer dance, and the 2 of them just keep clocking him with the most vicious elbows you've ever seen, and bit by bit his sports entertainer dance gets, like, more and more woozy, and then he just collapses. But my God, to be the guy in the match with Orange Cassidy and to have the best gimmick, that's pretty special.
I love that. Actually, I'm going to properly watch it just for that reason, because it is.
Hilarious. And honest to God, if I had to recommend 3 matches, it would be obviously Omega Ospreay, Danielson, Okada, and my third recommendation would genuinely be the 4-way Intercontinental match.
Okay.
Sonata Jungle Boy, really good match. Like, nobody's getting super excited about this.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's not fair because, like, everybody's always saying to AEW, you got to build new stars, you got to build new stars. And I said, right, here's Jungle Boy. He's brilliant in ring. He's like, really, like, the crowd loves him. He's over with everybody. So we're going to put him up against the New Japan World Champion. But I think everybody knew he wasn't going to win. And also, current New Japan champion Sonata, he's not like a mega over champion. So these two guys actually worked a really great match, like a genuinely really good match, but it was just heatless.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I haven't seen it, but looking at the show, it's like that's going to get lost.
It sticks out.
Yeah, there's nothing to get you excited there. You know, I mean, like it's in between, from all accounts, a great Fate of Horror match, and then a 10-man match with the with the Elite and with the Blackpool Combat Club. It's like, come on, this is where the stars are.
Now, the only thing I would say about this match is that after Jungle Boy lost in a valiant, like a really valiant effort, like if you're judging this as a match, this is a brilliant match. Like, I know people have different issues with Jungle Boy, and New Japan fans have different issues with Sonata, but like they put on a really good match. Like, again, completely admit, largely heatless, but a great match. But anyway, after the match, Jungle Boy and his friend Hook, Taz's young fella, are walking up the aisle, and Jungle Boy has this thing where at the start of the year he promised that he would hold a singles championship by the end of 2023. And Taz's young fella Hook has Taz's FTW championship, and Hook was out consoling Jungle Boy about his loss, and didn't the scallywag turn round and level Hook and lift his FTW championship?
Wow, he went heel.
So Jungle Boy's gone heel. I haven't actually seen Dynamite this week, but apparently he's gotten rid of Jungle Boy. He's just Jack Perry. He's gotten rid of the doing the entrance music. Da 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 da. Gotten rid of that. He's and he's gone full Marshall.
Wow. Okay.
So at least there was a bit of story to it.
So then I think you had one of what people would consider one of the main events. What was this like? Because I haven't seen it.
Just, I know people have different issues or different opinions of the Bucks, but whether or not you like them as performers, that's subjective. That's up to you. But as people who can plan and execute multi-man matches, they are the literal best in the world. You had 10 people in this match.
Multi-man match.
Multi-man match. You had 10 people, but you had 5 different feuds happening at different times. So you were telling different stories. Like, there was a bit where Eddie Kingston was on the side of the Elite, even though he doesn't like the Elite. He's like, I don't like you, but I hate you less than I hate Claudio Castagnoli. But so Eddie Kingston doesn't like the Elite, but he hates Claudio. But he's still friends with John Moxley, right?
Right.
Who was on the side of obviously the BCC. And there was a moment where the Young Bucks were lining up to do a double kick on like a prone John, like his hands were behind his back. This was just going to be 2 people kicking him in the face. And even though it was in the opposite team, Eddie like dove across the ring and saved him. And then started fighting Claudio Castagnoli, you know, like this was just the most intricately planned 10-man match I've ever seen that was not only like intricately planned in terms of moves and spots and blah blah blah, but that was so intricately planned in terms of storyline. So the stuff with like obviously Eddie Kingston and Moxley was huge, but then you had stuff with like the Young Bucks and Hangman in their own team, you know, because I mean they've hated each other for a long time, and you have the whole stuff like when you go through the individual members, but like the BCC and the Elite as a whole, because now it turns out that Blood and Guts is going to be BCC versus the. This just was the most incredible. Like, I really hate when people like talk about the Young Bucks as if they're like, you know, spot fest monkeys.
Yeah,
like they are. I mean, they definitely do their spots. Like, they love their ridiculous spots, but they are absolute masters at ring psychology and crafting stories within. I mean, a 10-man match is just chaos. And yet they've taken a 10-man match and they've crafted a really definable, like traceable, watchable story out of it, with maybe 4 or 5 different arcs coming. So you got the Kingston Moxley arc, like, I saved you, are you still going to fight me? You've got the Kingston Claudio Castagnoli arc where they're like, hi, I would like to murder you very much. You get the Wheeler Yuta arc where Wheeler is still like the young guy of the BCC, and in the media scrum, or in the after Forbidden Door, in the post media scrum, they were asking Bryan Danielson, it's like, oh, so the BCC lost, and Bryan Danielson's sitting there with his literal real life broken arm, and they said, so the BCC lost, Wheeler Yuta got pinned, like, how do you feel about that? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to beat shit out of Wheeler Yuta. It's like, but they build so many matches. It's just like, I watch it as a fan and I'm like in awe, and then I watch it as someone who was, I mean, it's a stretch to say that I was a wrestler, but I watch it as someone who is involved in wrestling, and I'm just
blown away,
mesmerized. It's just incredible.
So what have you got? So there are a bunch of matches here, right?
I know you want your noodles. I'll skip.
No. I don't like. I don't want to jump to the main event because I want to see the main event myself, because I love Okada. I really do, and I'm annoyed that I didn't have internet for 3 days, so I couldn't actually see this. It's actually very annoying because this show sounds unreal. But I want to like. Okay, let's just get it out of the way. Go to Ospreay and Kenny Omega. I hear it's probably match of the year. Is that true? Because I mean, I know it's true, but tell me why it's true.
Well, before that was Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale, and this is one of the issues, is that AEW doesn't have, because New Japan is an all men's promotion. Yeah. AEW doesn't have a relationship with like Stardom or any of the groups like that.
Yeah, I needed Josie's. Yeah.
So this is basically AEW versus AEW. It's a very good match. Tony Storm won. Good match. Now, after that, Will Ospreay defeated Kenny Omega. So I could take you through a long-winded thing, just like deeply, like, you know, investigating and looking into each aspect of the match and how it related to their first match, because there are so many callbacks in this to their first match. But the only thing I can say is that it is easily, without question, and that includes the Danielson Okada, although to be fair, he had a broken arm. So, but easily the match of the year. And it's hard for me to say whether it was better the previous Osprey Omega match, but it's very easy for me to say that and this is something I've been on the fence of for a long time. So I've told you about this. Like my favorite wrestler is Bret Hart. Always has been, always will be Bret Hart. And man, ever since I started watching AEW, I was like, bit by bit, Kenny Omega is like incredible. And then I'm like, Kenny Omega is not incredible. He's amazing. And then Kenny Omega is not amazing. He's essential. And then I got to the point where Kenny Omega is on my Rushmore of wrestling.
Mm.
And now it comes to who is my favorite wrestler. And Bret Hart has this incredible, and I mean, it's not fair because he can't wrestle anymore, but Bret Hart has this incredible backlog of matches, just sensational. And nobody, like, the main thing I look for from wrestling is that, like, make me forget that this isn't real, right? And Bret Hart is an absolute master at that. But I got to tell you now, after 30 odd years of Bret Hart being my favorite wrestler, and I mean, it hurts me to say this, man, I'm 50-50.
Wow.
I think Kenny Omega might be the greatest wrestler who's ever lived.
Wow.
And that's my review of this match.
Fair. Again, it makes me want to watch it more. It really does.
Well, I don't want to give away anything about it.
I mean, where do you go from that? I think the next match is not going to do that. I mean, it looked like it was fun.
Do you know what?
But
it actually broke my heart because it's Sting, Darby Allin, Tetsuya Naito versus
Naito's so cool.
He is versus Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki. Right, these are all great wrestlers. It just didn't happen on the night.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't mesh well. Like, normally on an AEW pay-per-view, like when the Sting multi-man match comes up, you're like, oh yeah, boy, it's going to be super fun. Like, Sting's going to do something ridiculous. Like, he's going to get power bombed through 40 tables, and then he's just going to stand up and like rip someone's head off and blah, blah.
40 tables.
For whatever reason, like, normally, like, one of my favorite, and like, if you go back through our AEW reviews, you'll see this. One of my favorite parts of any AEW pay-per-view is the Sting multi-man match, because it's nonsense. It's just like like, Sting in reality is 63-year-old man. Sting in AEW is an immortal god, and he just does this mad stuff. And even though his body can't handle it, like, he does his dives off tables and dives off balconies, and like, they do an incredible job of protecting him. Like, so they actually don't have him wrestle that much, but what they'll have him do is do a huge dive off the balcony, but there'll be like 8 guys there to catch him, you know?
Right.
So they treat Sting very well. So I was super looking forward to this, but for whatever reason, this match just didn't click.
Okay.
A lot of botches. Not much chemistry between the guys. A lot of moves missed, like people falling before they were actually hit with anything, and it's just
a bad night.
I mean, none of the guys. Yeah, that's what it is. None of the guys in this match are bad. It's just a bad night.
And the main event: Daniel Bryan versus Okada.
Well, this was not easily, because Osprey Omega exists. But I'm actually going to put this above Osprey Omega, because do you know what happened in this match?
I know he broke his arm. I finished the match with it.
So Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada,
which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, do that.
They had an amazing match. Like, this was I mean, it kind of depends what sort of wrestling you're into, if you're like into like really vicious, really intricate, like submission, striking, like this isn't the Young Bucks bouncing around the place. This is two people beating the living shit out of each other.
Trying
if you're
to
into
kill.
that, yeah, absolutely, yeah, trying to break the bones of the other person, right? So if you just watch this match with no knowledge of what happened, this is a brilliant match. It's maybe not the match of the night, but it's the second best match of the night. And it's phenomenal. When you watch this match with the knowledge that Bryan Danielson broke his goddamn arm 10 minutes into a 30-minute match. Oh my holy God. Like, instantly leapfrogs over Omega Ospreay. Match of the year. Bryan Danielson is the hardest man who has ever lived.
I think it's I think so.
And then even take it all aside, the actual match itself, sensational. The first guy to tap out Okada in 15 years.
Wow.
Mother of God. Just
there we go. So
50 stars.
So is that the rating for the pay-per-view? Overall 50 stars?
I mean, no, like if I was going to give the pay-per-view rating, I mean, like realistically, there were some parts of it that were not like MJF. Tanahashi was great, but it obviously wasn't like world-class Tanahashi, and this Sting match wasn't great. But I mean, you could not watch a pay-per-view with the Omega match, with the Danielson match, and with the Orange Cassidy 4-way and give it anything less than an absolute like A, not A plus.
Fair.
The other, there are some stuff that drag it down, but this is definitely an A pay-per-view.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm very much looking forward to watching the show. I'm probably going to watch it, if not tomorrow. No, I won't be watching tomorrow because Money in the Bank is tomorrow, but I will watch it on Sunday, and I'll probably give my update thoughts very briefly.
Coming down to your house on Sunday with a couple of Mackie D's, a few bottles of whiskey, a couple of pillows. Like, we don't need to sit on the couch. We can lie down on the ground and watch it. And we're gonna do this.
I mean, look, I need to watch it, man. I do. Again, folks, the internet being cut off, not by your own fault, but just I don't know what happened to me internet. It just didn't work, and we had to wait until someone came in and fixed it. And I still don't know what the problem was because I wasn't here, but it is fixed, and I'll be able to watch it. So I'll give my update thoughts next week. Martin, is there anything you want to plug before we get out here this week?
Yes, Femboys.
Okay. Doesn't even miss a beat. All right. Well, folks, if this is your first time checking us out, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. We'll be back with more nonsense next week. We're going to be looking at Money in the Bank and, whatever else happens from WWE. And then we're back in Time Machine. Martin, I don't know.
Where are we going, Darragh?
I think we're going to go to In Your House at some point.
So
do the whole run of In Your
actually,
House.
this is a good question to put to our adoring fans. I think a good arc would be the In Your House arc. Start obviously apart from the ones we covered like Valentine's Day Massacre and Buried Alive, but I think it covers like a really like crucial part of WWE history where it moves from the New Generation era into the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
But I also know my good friend Darragh has stuff from TNA he'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, there's 30 of these shows. So, sorry. No, we won't include the NXT ones. There's 27, and we've already done 2, so that's 25. So there's 25 shows that we have.
So that would keep us going till next year.
Yeah, and I might actually like we might take breaks because we'll have some guests on, obviously, and stuff comes up, and we might do some TNA shows as well. Like, there was there's a few. I think we'll start off with In Your House, number 1 from 1995. I think that's probably the next show we're going to do.
So you're going with my idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, what we will do is we probably will intersperse it with obviously current stuff and then some TNA stuff as well. But yeah, the next show we're going to do. So if you're playing along at home and you want to do your homework, In Your House, number 1 is the next show we're going to do.
Oh no, is the next show not Money in the Bank?
No, I mean in the Time Machine.
Oh, in the Time Machine. Yes.
Yeah. So when we go back into the Time Machine after Money in the Bank,
although technically by the time we do Money in the Bank, it will be in the past. So
that's true.
Well, look, I don't want to be a pain in the arse, Darragh, but I'm going to be a pedantic pain in the arse.
That's fair. All right, folks. Well, we'll be back next week to discuss that. And thank you so much for joining us. Talk to you then, guys.
Send us a femboy euro.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.